I watched the Inside the Episode with Stephen King, and I said, you are the reason for my nightmares. My nightmares. She ready. She ready for the review.
What's up, Internet World? We're the News 19 Nerds. I'm Leroy.
I'm Whitney.
I'm Michael.
I wasn't ready. I thought it was going to go like this, and then you were going to be like, here we go, guess.
I don't know. I just threw it this way.
I thought we were just going down the line.
Oh, wait, throw it. I'm about to catch it.
We're coming back? What's happened?
I don't know what's going on.
As you can tell, we got a different vibe because Whitney joins us again. Thank you for coming in. We missed you last week. You were getting over the flu.
Y'all, getting over flu. I was in the thick of it. Your girl was hurt, okay? Absolutely hurt. But I'm glad to be back, y'all. Glad to be back.
And from what I gathered, you actually watched 6 and 7 together.
I did. I watched 6 and 7 together. I wanted to watch it, but I literally couldn't even, like, when you got the flu, you're just in a different place. So I watched 6 and 7 together. I'm glad I did because it just made it just that much more enjoyable.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was good.
Because we got non-spoilers for episode 7. Yes. Okay. Thoughts?
This is the part we don't tell spoilers.
Yes.
Are you telling us or?
I think she's telling herself.
I think she was saying it.
Yeah.
Honestly, it really is.
Don't Lorenize it.
Yeah.
That's what Michael calls spoilers.
Okay.
Stuff.
Non-spoilers. Episode 7 was lit. I could not wait. Like, as soon as 6 finished, I said, I need to find out what's going on in episode 7 because I need to find out what's going on with Holly.
Right. We see Jack take that wheel, be like, no, we're going to go this way. And the car just slowly just veers off. Like, everything about that was shot beautifully. Like, it was eerie, and you're like, what's going to happen in 7?
Absolutely. All I know is protect Holly at all costs. Holly Watch 2020, that's my girl. I don't care if we have to take shifts and protect her because she is the key to this whole thing. And the whole time, I'm just, in my mind, you ever are like, okay, well, maybe if Holly does this, or she does this, or she does this, she can get away. You know what I mean? Like, I'm thinking of all the different things that she could do in order to get away. Whew.
I really enjoyed the car ride with Holly and Jack.
Yeah.
The actors. What's Jack's name? I know it's Cynthia Erivo. What's Jack's name?
John Menchaca.
Yeah.
Mark McChaka.
Mark Menchaca.
Yeah. I just like the dialogue between them two of Holly kind of probing him, asking him questions as they're driving, and John, it's just watching and you're like, you don't know exactly what's going on with him or whatever. I think that was cool. I like the resolution of how the episode ended. And I just have more questions of, okay, so where is the creature at now? Like, what's going on with the creature kind of stuff?
Yes,
Yeah.
It was so scary. This is what I will say. I absolutely loved the dynamic between Jack and between Holly, because here's the thing about it. They're both such complicated characters. I loved that Holly was aware of the fact that she needed to get safe. However, she's such a good person that she wanted to help him. You could see that she just wasn't saying whatever she needed to say to get out of the situation. She genuinely wanted to help him. And here we have Jack, who just got hit. That's not a spoiler about getting beat up, right?
No, that happened in 6.
Okay, because they're flying together.
Yeah.
Jack just got his whooped by his mom. Oh my gosh, am I allowed to do that?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Just start to stay away from the F word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't use that word anyway. But
I do.
he really does. But then you have Jack, who is being controlled by this creature. Literally, it just whooped its tail, but yet you could still see him fighting with the decision that this the boogeyman wanted him to do. And so I absolutely loved seeing all of those different dynamics play out. Yeah.
You, sir.
Oh.
You don't have to talk yet.
You know he got something to say.
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, I do, but
You got the flu? I'm just... That's the first time that's ever happened.
this I thought was the weakest episode.
Interesting. That's why you've been so quiet.
Really?
Because the things that I wanted, I didn't get. I love the Jack, Cynthia car ride, Holly car ride. the reason why I think this is the weakest is because I think he's going to get away. And I think this shows they're not the Avengers yet.
Yeah.
They
have not assembled.
We had to come together.
Yep.
Yeah.
We see cracks in the group that was put together, and I'm just, I think I'm a little sad that I think y'all gonna mess this up, and because the only person who believes Holly is Jack.
This is the one who wants to kill her.
Jack wants to kill her.
Yeah, that's true.
He don't want to. He has to.
So we saw from the trailer last episode and this episode, you saw Holly get in the car with Jack, and you like we all know. Holly had seen from episode 6 when she sat down with Jack. She says, "I don't know you, but I can see you're dealing with a lot of pain." And this is before she knew.
saw the. Yeah.
And so we saw the episode of Jack go 10 rounds with his fake mama in his head, and
Now, see, you say we talked about that in episode 6. You said that he beat himself up.
yep.
I don't think he beat himself up.
Nope.
I see. This is the
You
thing.
ain't whooping your tail like that, okay?
Let me tell you why. I wouldn't see that, and this is another thing. And they said an apparition, but the thing is, we've seen that the physical manifestation of this creature isn't real. It's in your mind. So Jack seeing his mom there is the creature using his memories against him, whereas it's controlling Jack. Like we saw Jack every time you like. Think about it, when you saw Jack in the woods and he just would go like this, it's the creature controlling him. The creature's using the vision of his mother, the apparition. It's not physically there. He can see it, but no one else. Like if somebody else was in the room, no one else would see his mom. So because it's directly tied to Jack, it can control Jack in that way. What I would have liked in that situation, are we in spoilers?
We can go ahead and get a spoiler. I mean,
I'm trying to figure out like
Yeah.
what I can and cannot
Let's
say. Okay.
spoilers.
Oh.
Yeah, we do spoilers now.
Well,
okay.
if you like the episode, check it out.
Yeah.
Also,
Show's still good.
So I would have liked to have seen more forensic work like we saw in the last episode, because I would have liked to have seen
You want to see some more CSI Holly?
Holly.
Take-
a little bit more. At
I
least,
said, your phone can do all of that.
Yeah.
because the problem that I had with that episode, that episode and this one was, now we're on the hunt for Jack. But if Ralph is still struggling with this whole thing, why is he not bringing police resources to prove that it is actual person? Like, where was the CSI for Jack's room? And that's the kind of problem that I was like, that's why I said I don't believe it was the creature. Because one, the creature couldn't have done that. In other words, the creature's molting, changing into the strip club guy. It's too weak. That's why it has these people to do its bidding. I would have liked to seen that. I would have liked to see more with Derek Cecil, who plays Andy. I thought that
Andy is the PI, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Andy had a conversation with Jack,
Yeah.
but he had a minor conversation with Holly. I would have liked to seen that dynamic more. And
Wait.
Andy, remember Andy?
Andy is the one that is in love with Holly.
Oh,
Yeah.
Andy's I thought you were talking about the
The
other
other
guy.
detective that works
Alec,
for the
The
lawyer.
other-
that's Alec Polly.
Yes.
Alec Pelly. That's the guy who's.
I
with
really
him.
liked him.
I like that you're seeing more of him, but the detective that Holly likes,
Yeah.
you see this conversation between him and Jack saying, "Hey, I want to be on your team," but you
Him
didn't
and
see-
Ralph,
Him
not
and Ralph.
Jack.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Him
Ralph.
and Ralph, but you didn't see. The only time you saw him and Holly together was when she opened the door. And
That's
I
cute.
would have liked to have seen more of them, where not only does he care for Holly, he did a little bit of research on his own, and it can support her. And we didn't see that in this episode.
Hot take. That Andy, that scene with him saying he wants to help with the investigation is a setup for him to take the place of the investigator who just had a baby.
Tamika.
So I think that
See,
that all of that happened in order because Tamika is stepping away, and so
Tamika shook.
See, I don't think it's set up for him to take her place.
I think he's going to join a team.
I don't
He's
think-
about to be an Avenger.
But Tamika wasn't on the team.
No, but she was a part of that like unit. The reason
She
she
was-
wasn't on the team is because she just had a baby. But
No,
I think
she got shot.
Then she got
She got shot. She just had a baby. She got shot. She went through a lot.
And
So
and remember, El Cuco showed up in her room,
Right.
and Holly told him where there were other people who were supposed to be there. Why weren't they there? And she was struggling with what
I
she
still
saw.
think that this is going to be him joining. I think he is going
I mean,
to
he's
join
going
the
to join.
team.
I just disagree that he's going to join because Tamika stepped down. Tamika's out because I'm like, I got a baby, I got shot.
And she
I
said
got
something to
nightmares.
Ralph. Was that like a code or something about the baby? Is that something that's going to trigger
What'd she
Ralph to look
say?
into something? Because she was like, "Yeah, I'm stepping away" and all this stuff. And they show the flashback again of El Cuco being in that room, and we realize, yeah, she doesn't really want to get involved because she's, thinking about the baby.
But the thing is, Holly told her that. To your point, Holly has brought all this information. She's written all these notes down. Holly said to Jack Ralph, the night before she left with Jack, there were supposed to be more people there. Why weren't they there?
Mm-hmm.
And Ralph said, well, Tamika was there. She just had a baby. And so what I'm saying is,
okay.
El Cuco is reaching out to people because El Cuco at this point knows Holly, there's an investigation. Holly and Ralph are out to get me. Ralph don't know he's out to get me.
Right.
But he's doing everything he can, and that's why I said he never directly went against Ralph, because then that would push Ralph over the edge to be like, oh, blank, this is real. Holly believes it's real, so he's definitely trying to take out
my
Holly.
girl.
Yeah.
Ralph is still on the fence, so it's going to other people to get to Ralph.
And Yul Vasquez, who's his character again?
He's Eunice.
Eunice says something to Ralph. He's like,
Yep.
You're in this investigation. You're trying to.
He said, Eunice said, see, here's the difference between me and you. You're trying to make this make sense, where I just want it to
I
stop.
want it to be
Yeah,
done.
that
Yeah.
was powerful,
And so
y'all.
that
Yeah,
was,
that was
the-
good.
And
That
that's
was
why I said
powerful.
I'm not going to say I didn't like it. I just thought it was the weakest because there were things that I wanted that I didn't get. And it's leading me to believe this thing is going to get away.
Well, if we sit down and really think about it, because this was episode 7, we got 3 episodes left. I have come to the conclusion too that there will not be a cap on this. I think that very much this season is going to end with we don't know what's going to happen. Now, let me just revert back to your point about you thinking that Jack beat himself up. This is why I don't think Jack beat himself up. I really do think that El Cuco, am I saying this right?
Cuco. Yeah.
El Cuco, has the potential to do that because think about the skin that he left at Ralph's house. His physical body was there. I think that he can actually be there. Also, if you I think about the marks, the blood marks on the walls, it looked like he had almost been dragged. I think that he got his butt whooped by El Cuco.
But this is the problem. We didn't see him get dragged. We saw his hands on the wall, and the problem is when El Cuco was at the barn, didn't fight Jack, just stung him and jumped on him and then jumped off because it's during this time, and that's the really key part. Because at first I didn't catch why Holly was so upset, and I had to rewind it, and I was like,
I told you about this scratch.
and she was so upset, like she broke composure because she's very focused. It's molting. It can't fight Jack. It physically can't. Jack is a bad dude.
Mm-hmm.
And the best thing to beat Jack is with the pain. Because Holly said it. Because Jack said in the car, and that's why I said it. To me, it firmly made me believe that it wasn't actually physically there. Was that when Jack said, "Why me?" and Holly said, "Because you're in pain. It looks for people in pain." And she says, "I don't know what happened to you. I don't know what wrong has been done to you. But I can clearly see something happen." And Jack said, "Well, my mom used to beat me." That creature used that memory. And that creature that was his mom looked like Pennywise to me. Like that was...
Y'all, that junk was scary.
It really was. And so Holly
said,
got...
"Hey, Jack boy," or something like that. I
Jackie
said,
boy.
literally, y'all, I'm not even kidding. I was at home, and immediately after I heard that voice, I said, "Oh my gosh, it's a monster," and I went like this. And then I opened up because I wanted to see what was happening.
Yeah, when Holly noticed the picture that Eunice showed of the strip club owner and of Terry Maitland, and then if you put the pictures together, it's molting into the strip club worker, the guy who used to run the strip club quit. That's why I said it can't physically be there to beat up Jack, because it during that time, and that's why I said, to me, this episode, it was the weakest, because we didn't go into Holly explaining to them, because they did. Holly said it needs to feed X amount of days. Then here comes Andy, who's like gone into how many days from this, how many days from that.
We know 3 weeks have passed, right?
3
weeks have passed, so we know there's a
21
timeline.
days.
And so, with Andy bringing this information, and then Holly seeing that picture, and then seeing Terry Maitland, and seeing the strip club owner, and then putting the other pictures together, and like, you are sabotaging
This
investigation
right.
because you can't believe
I
it.
was so happy she said Ralph's wife, when she was like, you need to go ahead and get to the left. And this is my thing about it, Ralph. How you not gonna believe your wife? Like, y'all
Yeah.
have been through it, and he is so dismissive towards her. And then the thing about it is, what I liked about the end of this episode, though, is we saw the tables turn from only Jack believing. I think the wife believed off the rip too. So from only Jack
She
and the
knows
wife,
something,
yeah,
From
believing,
Ralph.
to the end of the episode where almost everybody believes. The only people who need convincing are Ralph and the lawyer, who really, honestly, at this point in time, I'm over him. Like, he's just in it so he can get these coins real quick, so he can sue all these people.
But see,
But it's no longer
I don't-
let's convince everybody. It is now we just need to convince Ralph.
I don't think he's in it for the coins.
Oh,
Let me say why. Because I think he is like Ralph. I don't believe none of this bull. Because the reason why this show works is because it's so grounded in reality. And imagine if you
Exactly.
imagine if you were covering a story. The news media was there at both instances, where Terry Maitland was at the courthouse where he got shot for the perp walk, and he was at the school. Imagine you're covering a story, and there's forensic evidence of the man killing this child, but there's also video of you covering this event, and he is there. Honestly, in our newsroom, what would we do with that?
I'm just saying, I think that I think that he's definitely pushing. One of the reasons he's pushing Terry Maitland's wife to push for. I mean, I'm just saying he probably wants to check. Like, his sole desire, I feel like, is really to get some ammunition so that he can build a great case. Because think about was it episode 6 or 7? How many times he was really pressing her to sue.
To do the lawsuit. Yeah.
I agree with that. I think what his problem is that he wants to sue because his friend, his client is dead, but also none of this helps his case. Like, again, how do you present this to a jury? How do you present this to a court of law to say, and this is the thing that Eunice was trying to explain, and even Alec Pelly was explaining, and then you finally got it at the end from the psychiatrist. As much as we know, there's so much we don't know. Now, as intelligent as we all seem to be, how do you explain Okoko to a generation that forensic science says, and that's why I said the lawyers, he's not in it for that. He's in it for, my client is dead. My client's wife has to go back to work. She's harassed. She got no money. Her kids they're literally being threatened whenever they go out. Reporters are trying to sneak in by being nannies and homeschool workers. He's looking at it from the real sense, like Jack is. I'm sorry, not Jack. Like Ralph is. So that's what you see, that in the real world, there are real consequences. Like when she went to go sell the house, there are real world consequences to being the wife of a man accused of murder, and the case was never resolved.
Right.
These people are just trying to stop it from happening again, whereas Ralph is trying to, kind of like with the lawyer, they're of one mind in the sense where they have to make it make sense, because then they have to understand and then come to grips with the fact that there is a real creature. Terry Maitland will never be cleared because we can't bring none of this crap to a jury. We can't bring none of this crap. They're trying to make it make sense. And you saw Glory Maitland in the last episode struggle with that as well, where she's like, F it, I'm just going to go back to work. We need the money. But she had that moment where you saw it at the end when she was like, what if Terry did it? And you could see she was so devastated because it doesn't make sense. And that's where I don't think the lawyer is greedy in the sense. I think
I don't think he's greedy, but
he's trying to keep his mind on the real world. Because when Alec Pelly, the detective, called him and was like, we need to find Jack. And he was like, man, you brought Holly into this, so we need to help get her out of this.
This man is just unbothered about all of their investigation.
And
he just wants to.
And he doesn't see it from their point of view. He doesn't believe, because he still believes there has to be a real world explanation for Terry's. He thinks it's a frame job. And that's what everybody wanted to believe.
Well, a frame job by a tangible, real life human being.
Yeah.
And
he's still trying to get that check for the ladies.
Trying to get that check.
I'm just messing. No, seriously though. I agree with what you're saying. So let me ask y'all this, because this is the part where I'm like, okay, we're starting to see El Cuco take all these different, shapes or forms. So my question is this: we know that he can control people while also shedding and morphing into another being. So that's two things at once, which was confusing to me. Or not confusing, I was just trying to wrap my mind around it. But then my next question is this: does it have the power to influence dreams? Because we saw,
I believe so.
Yeah.
So it can jump into dreams too.
It doesn't jump into dreams. It can make you see things. Because remember,
We saw her on the bus.
we saw it got to Holly. Remember,
Ralph's son.
It got Ralph's son. We also saw whatever it is, whether it was physically there, something was there when it talked to Jean, Ralph's wife. And that's when Holly was CSI with her phone.
No,
and so,
Cuco was there.
Yeah.
And so, but the thing is, we don't. This is where I say this is where I want to know: was it physically there, or was it broadcasting something that was there? Because Ralph said there were no fingerprints, there were no indentations that the floor was moved, the alarm wasn't triggered. How did it get into the house? And then Holly mentioned radio waves. So so the question is, what can it do, and when can it do it? Because right now we know it's molting into. And I wish I knew the guy's name. Patty Constantine.
I think it would be really helpful if the show would give us a clearer definition of what his powers are, what its powers are.
Yeah.
But it probably won't, just based on the show. I think it wants to be mysterious and vague. So we're having these conversations.
We're figuring it out as they are figuring it out.
Yeah.
Because I don't think even they know what's it, because Holly's trying to figure out.
Well, and this is the thing. If you saw the trailer for the next episode, there is I think Ralph comes on board, because you see Claude Bolton. He's the guy who worked at the strip club. They have a conversation with him where he is sitting there and they're like, so what's your plan? How do you feel? And he's like, I have these things, something is inside of me where he doesn't know what's going on. That's probably the creature molding into an image of him, to be him, to walk basically amongst us. Remember,
at this festival, apparently.
Because remember, Alec Pelly had that conversation with the lawyer and said, and this is why I said, the lawyer's like the district attorney. I see two unexplained coincidences, and I'm out.
Yeah.
Just chalk it up. He can't, because he's got to keep going forward. But Alec Pelly said in the last episode, a lot of times we have mistaken humans for demons. What if we mistaken the demon for a human?
I said, come on.
And so now you have that situation where you've got Claude. So you have witnesses that Claude wasn't there, whatever this creature's going to do. The problem is, does the creature get away with it? And then they have to explain, we were with Claude. Claude didn't do this. Or can they stop this creature before it snatches another child, kills the child, and then moves on?
Yeah.
And that's why I said, to me, I thought, maybe the weakest episode is the wrong thing to say. Maybe this was the most disappointing, because I'm starting to come to the realization with only 2 or 3 episodes left, it might get away.
It might get away. All I know is my girl Holly got away, though. Y'all, let me tell y'all. When I was watching this is what I was telling Michael about this earlier. I said, I know they're not going to kill Holly, because she is too integral piece of the cast and of this show. So I know they're not going to kill her, because you can just feel
She's
it.
got
You can
plot
tell.
armor,
You know what I'm saying?
essentially. Yeah.
Exactly. Ooh,
Yeah.
I like that.
That's what Batman
good.
has.
I didn't make that up.
Yeah.
I don't want you. I didn't make that up.
No,
That's a well-known plot armor.
That's
Usually
what
this
Batman
character
has.
won't die.
That's
This is
how
why I
people-
need to sit here more often.
That's
Okay.
what they say Batman has. That's why he always wins. He has plot armor.
Plot armor. My girl's got the littest plot armor out there, okay? But seriously though, so what I was thinking what might potentially happen to Holly, I was thinking that Jack, the boogeyman, might jump onto Holly. That's what because I'm like, if they're not going to kill her, what's the other worst case scenario? And it is her being taken over by this thing. So that's what I was concerned about. But my girl is smarter than that. And she did what she had to do in the bathroom. And as soon as she picked up that commode top and threw it out, I sound like my grandma said commode. As soon as she picked up that toilet top and threw it out the window and came out the door, I said, that's my girl. And that's why you got plot armor.
Here we go. So when she had her nightmare, did you guys think that was real for a second? I did. I don't know. For some reason, the way it was shot, I was like, oh wait, has this whole thing we've seen where she got away, did that really not happen? And I was like, oh, that would be interesting. But she woke up, it was a dream.
I thought the
don't know.
recap for season 7 started playing. I was like, I already seen this.
Oh.
I thought that was reaching out to her to being like, I almost had you.
Yeah, for
Like-
sure.
like-
for sure.
Like
Oh, you think that was a sign, like a...
like basically like, B, I almost had you. I could have killed you. Like that. That's what I was thinking because it was one of those things where it was like, that didn't happen. Jack didn't do it. That's what it wanted Jack to do.
Yeah.
But it didn't do it.
So she had 2 sets of keys to the thing?
You always have 2 keys when you get a rental car.
Mm-hmm.
She is so smart.
You can request
You
2,
can
yeah.
request
I was like,
2.
I rented a car in Dallas. I only got 1 key.
They ask you if you want to
Oh,
because it depends on who's renting the car.
Got
They'll
it.
be like, do you want 1 or 2? And yeah, because when I went to Houston, they asked me if I wanted 2 keys.
Okay.
Just in case there was more than one of us
Gotcha.
driving.
Okay.
It was. I liked this episode. I just was a little disappointed and a little disheartened because I was like, it's setting up more and more that Ralph is the key to bringing everyone together. Because if Ralph makes the push to say, this is what we're going to do, everybody will listen. And Ralph still waffling is leaving the door open.
For Boogeyman to get away.
Mhm. And another thing too, part of it is, and for me, I don't know if you guys know just a little bit of inside baseball. So Whitney was off, and thank God you were. I'm sorry that you had the flu, but last week we had a very, very traumatic and tragic story that happened that made watching this show very hard.
Yes.
So I came into it with a little preconceived notion. I don't know if you guys have heard. We're from Columbia, South Carolina, so there was a story that we've been covering all week that was very difficult for us. And I mentioned before, I said there's going to be some people who probably jump off of this show.
Yeah. I can see that.
I almost jumped off this show based on, and it was really hard for me to watch. It took me a while to kind of come around and be like, okay, I'm going to watch, because after what happened, it was a little difficult. And so that idea of it could get away and this creature being out there, and then hearing Alec Pelly, the detective, saying, when I got lost as a kid, something called my name.
Twice.
And I don't know what that was. And he says, I've never been as scared as I was as a child as I am now. And that wouldn't really got me. That was, this episode kind of got me because of the personal stuff we had been covering. So I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a soldier up. I'm gonna watch the rest of them. But man, this was hard for me. And that's why I said I maybe the weakest is the wrong way. It was hard for me emotionally to watch it because I knew what if they lose. Like in Bad Boys, if they lose, the drug dealer gets away.
Right.
It's oh, he got away, we'll get him next time. If this creature gets away, the worst imaginable thing can happen.
Yeah.
Not only does a child lose his or her life at the beginning of their life, someone is going to be falsely accused and imprisoned because of this. And there's nothing you can do to get that person out. Like the woman in New York, she ain't getting out.
Yeah.
It's like her.
It's like she even has a mindset of she not even.
Yeah.
She's not even, yeah.
No, I'm good. I'm
and
here.
not only that,
Yep.
the entire it feeds off of grief, and I think that's the one thing that makes the show so much worse than a horror movie, is that you can watch a horror movie, oh that's great, and then move on. there was no gore. It's just that emotion that you realize this creature feeds off pain. And I felt so bad for Jack. My heart went like,
Yeah.
when we first watched this, everybody was like, Jack is a dick. And you were like, I hope something. And then it's this, Jack, outside of Holly, is probably my favorite character because of the pain he's going
The
through.
internal conflict.
Yes,
Yeah.
and Holly wanted to help him, and even though she knew her life was in danger, she still tried to talk to Jack like he was a real person, and that just was so sad that you're just like, man, you might not make it out of this.
Yeah.
He probably not, because honestly, I think about this last 2 episodes and the fact that nobody has died, and so I feel like that means that we're in for a lot of death. What is, trying to look at the silver lining, I will say the good thing, I mean, looking at it from the outside, the good thing about this happening to Jack is that we are able to realize that he is not a one-dimensional character
Yes.
like a lot of people thought. Because of this, we are now able to see the humanity and the heart and the soul of Jack because there is that fight in him. And so this allows him to not just be a one-dimensional character, but he is a multi-dimensional character who actually is a good person, just been through a whole lot of bad things.
And you realize, you're like, when you saw Jack at the strip club, our first time seeing him, he loses his cool, he gets in a fight, gives
so
the guy
how
a
is he a
wedgie.
police officer?
And, and you're like, how?
Yeah.
And then you saw him talking to Ralph on the porch, and he's like, we're never going to get along. And you saw Jack trying, and and I knew Jack was a decent person when Tamika would go out of her way to try to help him and try to talk, because I'm like, you can't be a prick. And this woman, who's a mother, who's a police officer, who got shot.
Right.
Is
She wouldn't
still-
spend the time.
Is still trying to help you. and that was like, you realize that Jack is a 3-dimensional character. You realize there's pathos to him, there's pain, and you're like, in the beginning, I'm quite sure everybody was like, man, F Jack. And now everybody's like, no, not Jack. Because when he was in the woods, I was like, oh, he about to, and I was like, whoo, Jack will still make it. But then you're like, but Jack can really mess all this up. And so you know that there's a reckoning coming.
I'm gonna say
You just hope that it's a positive reckoning.
I think if they got to the location, I do not think Jack would have done it.
I hope not, but I'm glad.
In my heart, I want to believe that he would not have done it. She did what she needed to do now.
I'm glad she never gave Jack the opportunity
She did what she needed to do.
to have to make that
But
choice.
I don't necessarily know, because even the way in which can we say kidnapped? Because he
Yeah.
kidnapped.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
couldn't turn around if she wanted to, right? But he did let her use the bathroom. So even though
Kidnappers let you use the bathroom?
I don't
I
know.
watched Friends and Files.
Oh, okay.
Did you think I kidnapped people?
The
Don't
way
sleep.
she said that,
You
she
see
was
what I'm
like,
saying?
well,
I mean, I don't know. So
See what
he's a great guy. So.
I appreciate
But
that,
the
Whitney.
way, it's true. The way, he just gently, even the way in which the whole kidnapping was happening, is he wasn't forceful. It was almost like, this is something that I have to do.
Yes.
right.
So I was like, man, I thought the car scene was great TV.
Well,
Yeah.
they talked about it. They did a really good job. They wanted to do a good job because I can't remember what the guy's name was, but he was very impeccably dressed.
The
He's-
director of the episode or whatever?
Yeah, I
maybe?
can't remember what his name
Yeah.
was.
Why are you saying that? Shout out to Jack for asking all the questions that we wanted to know too.
And
In the car.
And-
I was like, yes, Jack.
And Jack said, he was like, all my life I never believed in God, or he's like, but I believe evil exists. And he's like, because I've seen it, and it lives in me.
His mama whooped his butt too.
And this is the thing, and I think something maybe the positive we can take away from this, because Whitney says this, or does this, you never know what someone's struggle is, so try to be nice to everybody.
Yeah.
I'm still working on that.
On that, we're going to wrap up because we got other stuff to do.
You are nice!
I'll let y'all decide if Leroy's nice or not.
He's nice.
Y'all can comment below. Also, let us know what you thought of this episode. If you were into it, if you weren't, if it made you, you felt disappointed about it, let us know. You can find us here on YouTube, also on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, WOTex.com. Like, comment, subscribe, and we're out.
Peace.
Bye, y'all!